everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Maine Morgue. As always, I am your host, Jamie Santamore. Before I get into this week's topics, I want to give you guys an update on the Star Wars episode. That's going to be a special episode of the show. I have here all of my notes for episodes 1 through 7, along with fan theories and some fan questions. Because believe it or not, even though I'm a horror-based show, I talk about Star Wars a lot, and I wear the Star Wars pendant, which a lot of people comment on. So I get a lot of Star Wars questions. So I'll be answering those, and hopefully sometime this week I will be able to shoot this video about Star Wars and present it to you guys, hopefully before the new year. Things are going to get real hectic around my house because my kids are getting out of school, but I'm going to try my best to do that for you guys. As for an update on Sins of Man 2 Vengeance, it's coming along. I don't have a new release date for you guys. I know Chris is working on it as quickly as he can, as best as he can. He also has several other projects in the works. So it'll come out when it comes out, and it'll be the best film it can possibly be because I know Chris is taking extra time with it. I've been asked recently, over the last couple weeks, what's on deck for Wicked Carnival Productions. And I really don't know. We've got it narrowed down to 2 or 3 projects that are going to come next. And once that decision is made final, I will let you guys know. All right, enough of the update stuff. Let's talk about this week's topics. Movie talk. I want to talk about Dogma. Was released in 1999, written and directed by Kevin Smith. Another amazing ensemble cast in this movie: Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, Chris Rock, Selma Hayek, George Carlin, Jason Lee, and Alanis Morissette and Alan Rickman. Excuse me, God rest his soul. And of course, Linda, and I'm going to say this wrong, Fiorentino played the lead character. Funny movie, very well written. Kevin Smith has a beautiful talent for writing. I thought this movie was brilliant from beginning to end. And I just want to say, anybody that takes this movie too seriously from a religious standpoint, you're missing the point of the movie. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be a satire on organized religion and Christianity, Catholicism rather, as a whole. It's funny. It's witty, it's comical, and you really can't take this movie too seriously. And that's just my opinion. Again, I saw this movie with my wife, and she's a huge Kevin Smith fan. She actually turned me on to Kevin Smith's movies. And again, Kevin Smith, brilliant artist, very smart, very intelligent in the way he puts things together. And of course, Kevin Smith, like any filmmaker, has his detractors. I don't listen to them because I am a Kevin Smith fan. The story for this movie is well thought out, well written, and thus well done, and very well executed by the cast. I gave this movie a 4 out of 5, and that's huge for me because, you know, I don't give a lot of 5s out. I don't really give out a lot of 4s either. So 4 out of 5 for me for this movie. And I actually just watched tonight, before doing this podcast, Yoga Hosers, which is Kevin Smith's Part 2 of the Great White North trilogy. Brilliant movie. And I just gotta say, Johnny Depp in this movie is fucking amazing. I love Johnny Depp, and he's a very versatile actor. In this movie, I was like, oh my god, is that Johnny Depp? And I'd seen him in Tusk, the first movie of the Great White North trilogy. And I just like, wow, he's so good in this movie. And the whole cast was brilliant. Very well done. Much better, I thought, than Tusk. If I had to rate Yoga Hosers, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. Because it was a brilliant movie. Funny, witty, well-written, well-directed, interesting story. And just the scenes, the whole thing was just wow. Like, I wasn't really super excited about Yoga Hosers after Tusk. Because Tusk just left a bad taste in my mouth. But Kevin Smith, in terms of horror comedy, huge upgrade from Tusk to Yoga Hosers. I think you should continue to do horror comedy because it's very funny. So yeah, I gave that a 4.5 out of 5. Next up, I'm going to answer 6 fan questions. So here we go. Wow, I just did 2 movie reviews in 5 minutes. Sweet. All right, question number 1 this week. What is your relationship like with your executive producer? What's it like working with him or them? I only have one executive producer, and that is Chris Fife. Our relationship is very good. When we're on set, we communicate very well. We work well together. I give him an idea, and he makes it happen. He'll say, okay, this is what we have to do to make that idea work. Or he'll say, that's a terrible idea. This is what we can do. And I usually agree with him because Chris is very, very good at what he does. And as far as what it's like working with him, it's not work. Chris makes everybody on set feel like they can conquer the world. And that greatly helped me during the process of making the first 2 Sins of Man movies. Because there were times, even in part 2, where I was like, oh my God, this is just, it's not going to work. We can't do it. Because, a bunch of stuff would happen behind the scenes. And he was always there. No, we can do this. Let's just sit down and focus and we'll figure something out. And, Chris, and I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, without Chris, Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis would have never happened. Sins of Man 2, Vengeance would have never happened. Because he is the driving force behind Wicked Carnival Productions. He does everything I ask of him. He's been very helpful, both in the creative process, the financial part of it, and directing scenes where I just couldn't quite figure out what was missing or what was needed. He'd be there like, okay, this is what we can do. And I'd be like, oh, that's brilliant. And that is the main reason I am letting him direct Sins of Man 3, Tribulation. Because he's earned it, for 1, and 2, I have always called him my assistant director, because if I can't figure out how something is supposed to work with the framing or what I want in the scene, he can come up and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Because Chris, as well as my executive producer, he's also my cameraman, and he has this amazing talent where as he's filming the movie, he's putting it together in his head. So even when we're filming stuff out of sequence, he's like, okay, this is going to go here, so we just filmed that, and then we're going to film this tomorrow. And he's very good at what he does. And again, Chris, what it's like to work with him is it's not work at all. He's brilliant at what he does, and that is one of the main reasons I decided to let him direct Sins of Man 3, Tribulation. Next question. What advice would you have given yourself 2 years ago? I laughed when I saw this question, because I would have probably given myself the advice of, don't try to do this. You know you're not going to be able to do it. Why would you put yourself through all this pain and suffering mentally just to fail in the end? And I say that, but knowing what I know now, if I could have given myself advice 2 years ago, it would have been, don't take shit from anybody. Go out, make your movie, make your mark on the horror genre. Because if you don't, nobody will. Nobody else can tell this story because nobody else has thought of it. And, that's what I did. I would give myself the advice, never give up. Because by giving up, you never accomplish anything. Never say die, never quit. Next question. What things in life are still a mystery to you? That is a deep fucking question. A lot of things. Human nature is still a mystery to me. Are we alone in the universe is still a mystery to me. Do ghosts exist? Do monsters exist? Things I think about that are still a mystery to me, oh my God, I could sit here all day and make a list of all the things that are a mystery to me. Human nature is something that I'm very deeply passionate about understanding. Because a lot of things you people say and do and don't do intrigues me. Next question. What's the coolest thing about having a fan base? Honestly, it's getting to talk to you guys on a daily basis on social media from fans around the world. I love having an open line of communication to people all over the world. I like talking to you guys. I like it when you guys ask me questions. This is my favorite segment of the show because you guys get to know a little bit about me each week. So the coolest thing about having a fan base is being able to talk to you guys just pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year due to social media like Facebook and Twitter. Next question. Has being a celebrity changed you? I don't consider myself a celebrity. I mean, I get noticed in public and people want to talk to me and ask me about my movies and why I did certain things or if they could be in the next movie, stuff like that, ask for a picture or an autograph. But no, I don't think being a celebrity has changed me because I don't consider myself a celebrity because I'm just a small town local guy that makes horror movies. And that's the way I look at it. And I say to people all the time, you know, stay humble, stay hungry. And I truly mean that. I always want to be a humble person. I don't want to get my ego too big. I don't want to get too big to where people don't feel like they can't approach me. Because I always want to be accessible to my fans. So, I mean, it's changed me in small ways. I'm a lot more guarded with things now. When I first started making Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis, I would tell people things that I really shouldn't have been telling them. But now I've become more guarded with the process of making the movie and what happens in the movie and scenes and things like that. I'm very secretive now about upcoming projects because I actually had somebody steal one of my ideas. Decided not to seek legal action, just let them have the idea because it wasn't that really good of an idea to begin with. And I'm actually interested to see what they do with that idea. But, no, I mean, I'm more guarded, if anything. And I think that's how being a quote-unquote celebrity has changed me. I'm more guarded. So, last question this week. What has been the funniest fan interaction so far? A lot of them. I would have to say being at the supermarket, standing, waiting for my prescription in the pharmacy department, and somebody walked up to me and said, "You're that guy." I'm like, okay. "You're that guy. Oh my God, you're that guy." I'm like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like, "No, you're that guy that made that movie." I'm like, "Yeah, I make movies." "No, you're that guy that made that slasher movie." I'm like, "Yeah, that's me, Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis." He goes, "Yeah, that's it. My girlfriend loves that movie." I'm like, that's cool. He goes, "Can you sign something for me, for her?" And I'm like, okay. So I took out a pen, and I always carry business cards, and I quickly, signed my name. And I gave it to him, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, dude, so much." And his girlfriend came over, and she's like, "Oh my God, you made that movie. You're Victor Barclay." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." She goes, "Can I get a picture with you, man? Can I get a picture with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I put my arm around her, and her boyfriend took the picture, and it was just really weird. It was one of the first times I'd ever been noticed, and then, of course, that brought other people over, to the point where I thought I was holding things up at the pharmacy. So I said, okay, everybody that wants to talk, get something signed or take a picture, let's go outside, and we'll do it out there. I don't want to disrupt this business. And, that was kind of cool. Nobody's really ever said anything like people that work at Hannaford or anything like that, because it doesn't happen that often. But that was probably the weirdest thing. And I was just sitting there. I had my headphones on, actually, and I was waiting for my name to be called because I just called in my prescription. And I was just sitting there. My music was on low, so I could hear everything going on around me. And it was just really weird because I was just sitting there. I wasn't talking about horror or anything. I didn't have a horror T-shirt on or anything. And it was funny. It was weird because it was one of the first times that it ever happened. So yeah, that would be my funniest fan interaction. All right, next up, small screen chat. Hold on one second. I want to take a drink here. Oh, whew. Nice cold water. I want to talk about Total Divas, and this might shock some fans, but I actually do watch this show, and my wife got me into it, because it gives me an inside look at not only the divas, but their boyfriends and husbands, who are most of the time in the WWE in some capacity. And it's funny because all my shows are on hiatus now, so Total Divas is on, and my wife was watching it last week, and I started watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching this. But it was actually a really good show. Rusev and Lana, Lana's real name is CJ, and Lana is not Russian. She's from Nashville, Tennessee. Excuse me. Their relationship behind the scenes, I think, is very interesting. And Rusev, I've got a whole new level of respect for Rusev, the man, and the character. A show that's actually still running currently is Shooter on the USA Network, starring Ryan Phillippe. Amazing show. I love the movie, starring Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg is an executive producer on the show. Love it. It's really cool. I mean, they're basically following the same story with a few minor changes. In the movie, Bob Lee Swagger didn't have a family. In the TV show, he does. So that's kind of interesting. I love the story. I love the way it's playing out. I cannot wait for tomorrow night when the new episode airs, immediately following SmackDown on the USA Network. And sadly, I have been watching a lot of Christmas specials this year with my family. I don't usually watch them. We tape them for my kids because they're all on at night, and they usually watch them. But, I mean, I love the classics, Rudolph, Frosty. I love Frosty Returns because John Goodman plays Frosty. Of course, Peanuts. I'm a huge Peanuts fan. Those of you that know me know that I have a Snoopy tattoo on my leg and a Woodstock tattoo on my arm. I don't even know if you can see it. But I have Woodstock on my arm to represent my Nana, and Snoopy on my leg to represent my dad, who loved Snoopy and Peanuts. So I watch that one every year. I watch The Grinch every year because I love the Grinch story. My absolute favorite Christmas special is Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol, or Mickey's Christmas Carol. That is my absolute favorite one ever since I was a kid. So that is my small screen chat for this week. And really, that's all I've got. Wow. Like I said, I just want to wrap up with Wicked Carnival Productions and what's coming next. I'll be having a meeting with Chris about Sins of Man 3 and a couple other projects that we might jumble around on the schedule. Mainly because Sins of Man 3 Tribulation is the end of the Sins of Man trilogy. It's the end of the Sins of Man story. And we want to put maximum effort into making this the biggest and best movie of the trilogy. We don't want to have that letdown from part 2. And there are a couple other projects that we can do quicker and easier if we decide to, move them around on the schedule a little bit. Nothing is confirmed as of yet. Chris and I are going to meet, talk, discuss things, come up with a game plan moving forward. Sins of Man 2 Vengeance will be released hopefully soon. I have not got an update yet from Chris. I know he's working hard on it, and he's doing a lot of Christmas concerts. Christmas is Sunday. Wow, Christmas is Sunday. Good thing I got all my shopping done, right? I do need a new phone, though. Ooh, look at that. Idiots. Anyways, people texting me while I'm trying to do my damn show. Leave me alone. Anyways, to wrap this up nicely, it's going to be another short show because there's really not a lot for me to talk about. I don't watch a lot of TV, although Scream Queens, there we go, we'll talk about Scream Queens a little bit. I will be so glad when the season is over because they fucking ruined it. I was going to wrap up, but let me bitch about Scream Queens first. Them fuckers, oh my god, revealed not one, not two, but all 3 green meanies. So what the fuck is the finale about on Tuesday? I mean, fucking seriously. You know goddamn well Emma Roberts' character, Chanel, isn't going to die, because without her, the fucking show sucks. I thought Chanel number 5 was already dead. She's back. Chanel number 6, who was the killer from the first season. And of course, they're going to unthaw Denise Henfield, which she's a great character. I can never remember that woman's name who plays her. But anyways, Nishi Nash, is that it? I can't remember. But yeah, I don't see the point of revealing all 3 of the killers prior to the finale. But we'll see how that plays out, I guess. And, I'm excited and really amped up for the return of the DC universe on the CW. And I've been watching a lot of videos. And I've been watching a lot of Star Wars videos to get ready for my Star Wars show, which like I said, hopefully I'll be shooting soon, and I will probably release it before the end of the year, hopefully. My kids are off from school vacation as of Thursday, so it's going to be very hard for me to do new content. I will be doing an episode of the Horror Pack Indie Movie Review on Saturday, as normal, recorded on Thursday, uploaded on Friday, render it on Friday and upload it on Saturday morning. Saturday is Christmas Eve, so if I don't get it up, that's why. I will get it up as soon as I possibly can, because things are going to be very hectic in my house, waiting for Santa Claus to arrive. So I hope to have that done on time. If not, I will get it done as quickly as possible next week, even if I have to do 2 movie reviews next week. So we'll see what's happening there. Again, now that's really all I have this week. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the show. I'm thinking about starting a Patreon campaign to get some funds for better equipment, lighting, and a new camera, some better audio equipment. I don't know how much you guys like this or how well it works, because sadly I don't watch my own show. So give me some feedback, and as always, stay humble, stay hungry, everybody. And of course, may the force be with you always. Catch you guys next week.